I am Andy Rouge. I am Andy Rouge. I am Andy Rouge. Sorry, I just need to keep reminding myself. Hey guys, I'm, Andy. Hopefully everyone's night is going a little better than mine, because right now I'm really freaking out. It's the early hours of the morning and I still have no answers. I've been getting everything packed up for my move when I found this tattered and old notebook buried deep in my closet. I can't even start to explain what's in it. I have no idea who these journal entries are, who the hell Howard is, or why my brain feels like it's about to explode whenever I think of that name. In sort of a last-ditch effort, I've decided to transcribe the entries and post them around, just to see if anyone can help. I've never been much of a writer, always been more into the sciences, so I'm just gonna paste it all and let Howard do the talking for me. Fuck, there's that splitting pain again. Hello, shitty journal that I bought at the dollar store, the only place I can afford. My therapist has been really on my ass about starting a sort of diary to put all my thoughts and feelings and whatever down. So, finally did it. Only took me this long. So I guess I can start with the basic stuff. I'm Howard Trash, but the last name really should just be Trash. I dropped out of college and am trying to make it big as a freelance writer. But when I don't have a client, which is very, very often, I'm the guy flipping burgers at Macca's. What a joke, I know. Had I not been an anxious little shit my whole life, maybe I could have inspired to greater things. Generalized anxiety disorder is what Emma, my therapist, calls it. It's a pretty common disorder, but most people rise above it, succeed, and enjoy their lives or whatever. But not me. Oh no. I had to let it dominate my life. Let it have the only girl I loved get away. Let it prevent me from taking just those few extra uncomfortable steps to do and say the right things. It's debilitated me so much I want to cry. Well, looks like I won't get to do that, though. Sleeping meds are kicking in. Until tomorrow, I guess. Hey, Journal, guess what? My boss yelled at me again. Apparently he didn't like my tone when I called him sir. Told me he was gonna have to let me go if I keep slipping up. Is it even possible to go further down than rock bottom? Maybe I'll find out soon enough. I have another therapy session tomorrow. I broke down crying during the session today. I'm usually pretty good at keeping things under wraps, but today I just couldn't. Maybe it's because of my boss yesterday. I could tell Emma really felt for me. She's a sweet girl. Only person I've ever felt like I could trust. But I think even she knew we'd hit a wall. The medication wasn't working. All her therapy techniques had proven for naught. When I looked up and saw her somber expression, I was half expecting her to say something like, "Sorry, Howie. You're completely unfixable. I can't help you. You can go home now." I mean, I would've. Instead, though, something definitely unexpected came from her. She only wanted to offer it to me as a last resort. Emma told me of this Dr. Fisher guy she met in college. Apparently he was a neurologist experimenting in curing different mental disorders, and it just so happens they're starting human trials for conditions like yours truly. "If you want, I can probably get you on the trial list," I remember her saying. "It's a really drastic procedure, though. You may—" I don't even recall what she said after that. Can I even describe how fast I said yes? I mean, I'll either be cured, get a ton of cash if they mess up, or die. It's sort of a win-win-win. I'll be meeting with Dr. Fisher in a couple of days. Another day, another bitching from the boss. This time it was for where the wet floor sign was, despite the fact that he told me that's where he wanted it from now on last Monday. I should have told him that, followed by cussing him out and storming out. I mean, there's plenty of makas, right? But I didn't. Because like I said before, my anxiety makes me a coward. Whatever. And like most things in Life Journal, I completely forgot about actually keeping up with this. Yeah, it's been 2 months since I last scribbled something down here. Nothing much has changed. Cry in the morning, slave for a minimum wage throughout the day, cry at night. Repeat and try to ignore the existential dread. But there's been one thing keeping me going. I'm not sure what Emma said, but Dr. Fisher wanted to see me immediately as a candidate. He seemed nice enough, explained everything as simple as he could. So apparently there's this drug called Ectolin. It acts sort of like a reset for the brain to get it back to functioning normally. God, I've been dealing with this so long I barely remember what that's like. They want to use it for things like anxiety, duh, PTSD, and even schizophrenia. But the only catch is, well, they kind of need to implant the drug directly into my brain. Yeah, definitely never heard of that before. I'm not going to say I didn't freak out at first. It felt like my blood had turned ice cold, and it didn't get any better as Dr. Fisher explained everything in detail. But if I can be so personal with you, Journal, I'm honestly just at the end of my rope here. If this doesn't work, nothing will. I just blurted that yes right out. I signed the disclosure without even thinking about it. And now you're the only one that knows how truly terrified I am, Journal. It's Sunday. We discussed the procedure during our session today. Emma could only try so hard to keep me calm. Surprise, that voice of anxiety is rearing its ugly head. It's screaming at me not to do the procedure, even making me feel angry at Emma for offering for it. But no, for once in my life, I'm gonna take control from it. I'm so tired of this. I must do this. I must. I'm going to. It was my last shift at work today before, you know what. My only friend tonight is the moon, and its light shining on through. I always like just to stare at it and daydream whenever I'm up in the early hours and feeling bad. I usually fantasize about being able to fly out to it and beyond, far from all the worries of the earth. Silly, I know. It's probably going to be a while before I write back here again. Hopefully it's not the last. Until we meet again. Journal, it's been a whole 2 months before I could even stand to hold the pen again. I don't even know where to start. The procedure was pretty painless and felt only like a moment under the anesthesia. It was funny in a way how Dr. Fisher made it seem like it was no big deal after I woke up. In fact, he didn't even seem too concerned about me. Just did some brain scans on me, told me what I could expect, and let me be on my way. The only thing particularly remarkable is when I was waking up from that dead sleep. I swore, just for a moment, there was this blinding flash. I wasn't able to catch much of it. I just remember these bright, baby blue eyes staring right at me. Dr. Fisher said that was normal. And of course, the most interesting part, did it work? Well, I'm so happy to say I believe so. I simply can't believe how much better I feel. That beast I've dealt with for so many years seems to have all but vanished. For the first time in forever, I finally feel free. It's incredible. Really, the only problem I've been dealing with is this uncomfortable squirming sensation in my head, around where I think they placed it. Once again, though, Dr. Fisher said that was to be expected. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I think things are finally looking up for me. My first shift since my surgery, it was honestly the best shift of my life. Unsurprisingly, the boss didn't even notice the patch of hair gone from my head, but I felt so much more in control of myself. Things just seemed so much more relaxed. I even flirted with this girl I've been wanting to talk to in forever. Her name's Linda. Although there was one strange thing to happen during work. My boss started getting on me for how I was wrapping the burgers. Usually when he does this, I would just mutter under my breath, "Yes, sir," and cower. But now, my immediate reaction was, "Show me how to do it better then." And that's a better response, but this is going to sound weird, but it didn't sound like it came from me. Like it just came from somewhere. I don't know. I can't explain it. I also swore I lost consciousness for a second there, and saw a pair of eyes during that brief moment, much like the ones when I first woke up. Had a bit of a headache for the rest of the day after that. I don't know if this is worth reporting to Dr. Fisher. Okay, so something really weird happened during my session. Everything was actually going great. I was a hell of a lot more relaxed and confident than I'd ever been, and Emma noticed that. "Looks like you're doing a lot better, Howard," she said with a warm smile. But once she said my name, I felt almost dejected for some reason. I blacked out again. I think this time was about 10 seconds. I saw the eyes again, and now eyebrows and a nose above and below them. When I finally came back to, Emma stared at me with a strange look. "Howie? Who's Andy?" "What?" I managed to mutter out. "Andy. You just called yourself Andy. Who's Andy?" I didn't even have the strength to think about what she said. The headache was back, almost unbearably painful. I found myself dizzy and nauseous, and I tumbled out of the room trying to get back home before I got sick. I dully remember her calling out to me, but I didn't feel like I should turn around. I'm exhausted right now. I'll call Dr. Fisher in the morning. I shouldn't be answering to that name anymore. Holy shit. I definitely don't remember writing that last line. Why the hell would I write that? I haven't been able to think straight since yesterday. I've been vomiting the past couple of hours now, and the headaches have turned into migraines. I was a no-show at my job, so I guess I'm fired. It feels like all these bugs and parasites are squirming and crawling in my head. I tried to contact Dr. Fisher, but he isn't picking up. I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. Maybe I should ask Andy for help. Maybe I should ask Andy for help. Who the fuck is Andy? Who the fuck is Andy? Why am I constantly seeing that face? What the fuck did they inject me with? I keep blacking out much longer than before. I'm starting to feel better now, but every time I think about reaching the phone, the next moment I'm doing something else. The last time I blacked out, I apparently had been watching a programming course for 3 hours. I don't even like that stuff. Why was I watching that? There's so many thoughts in my head, but they don't sound like my own. Like there's someone else in here too. They want to be in the driver's seat. Just before he takes over, I can see him for a second. His face is all blurry, but he's male, blonde hair, probably around my age. I'm getting better at taking the body. I think I should have it for about 5 hours now. I can't wait to make this a life worth living. Who the fuck is Howard? Right as fast as I can for another blackout. Have minutes before Andy comes. He's on the surface. Thoughts not my thoughts no more. Andy's face stares at me. Blue eyes, brown hair, crooked nose, not me. Changing, send help. Scared. I'm Hey, I'm pleased to say I've been feeling a lot better now. I don't know why I was so worried. It was nothing but a stomach bug. My anxiety is completely gone, and I can finally focus on the things I enjoy. I now have the courage to start a business for programming, something I've always had a passion for. I'm making a splash for myself in web development, if I do say so myself. Got my first client today. I haven't gotten to a session with Emma in a while now. I hate to say it, but I think she must have lost her mind or something. She kept calling me Howie and started talking about this Dr. Fisher guy and a bunch of other stuff that didn't ring any bells. Just super weird. Anyways, I really should get back to work. I swear I'll get this code done by tonight or my name isn't Andy Rouge. Sorry for not getting back to you in so long, lovely journal. Life's going swimmingly, minus some peculiar sensation I've had lately. I was driving by a Macca's on my way to the store and I felt the urge to go in there and yell at the manager. I really don't know how to explain that one if we're being honest. I also have this weird tingling vibe whenever I look up to the moon, almost as if I want to leave, like to fly to it. Why would I want to do that? My life's going great right now. My business has been really soaring. I think Howard's dead. And that's where it ends. There's a page ripped out of it that I've been scavenging my house for the past hour trying to find. I don't remember writing any of this as myself or Howard. I don't know how I could forget something like this. I've tried to look inside myself to see if, well, there's no Howard I can find. Alright, I'll let you all take it from here. Headaches are too much to bear now. I have to finish some coding anyway. And listen, I don't have anything to make any sense of this, but I'm certain of one thing. I am Andy Rouge. I am Andy Rouge. I am Andy Rouge. Please, trust me.